Hello. Hello. Good morning. Even though it's not morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a slightly later stream than normal. How are you guys doing today? My name is Rodgon. I am an artist. I am a designer, and I have a terribly loud truck outside, apparently, right as I begin to stream. And you gotta love it. Let me see if I can shut the volume or something. Just every time, right when I start streaming. Hi. Anyways, hello, everybody. Today's lesson will be a fun one, and it's going to be a very important one for you guys. So we're going to talk about eye placement. There's been a couple things that I have noticed when it comes down to my followers' drawings, and that is that sometimes you guys don't really know where to put your eyes within your actual structures. So sometimes you get like a wonky eye. Sometimes you get like one that looks a little bit off. Maybe one is a little bit too long, a little too short. And a lot of the times, everything in the face doesn't really look like it's in the actual same plane. So we're going to talk about that today. Hello, Miss Insomniac. How are you doing today? One of our most dedicated mods. I do appreciate you. Thank you so much for all you do. Keeping all the sex bots and all the dumb people out of it. Anyways, I'm doing great. Had to go help a buddy in the morning, so that's why we didn't have a stream this morning. But we are now in a situation where I have time. So let's talk about eye placement. Where do the eyes go in the head? Well, it's actually quite simple. If you divide your face into three, 1, 2, 3, your eyes are going to fall roughly in the middle of the second part. Wherever that second part is, if you split it in half and you do two little triangles, you can decide where your nose is going to go and then your nose bridge going into your eyebrows that fall perfectly onto that second line. And then you have a triangle in the middle that guides you to your mouth space. And then in the bottom part, you just need to draw your mouth and your teeth, your eyes, your eyebrows, and your nose. And then the top one has your hairline. So it's that plus whatever hairline you want to give it. So if you learn to divide it like that, it becomes a little bit simpler. Any shape, divided into three. Then I have my eyes are going to be within this area. My nose is going to be within this area. And my eyebrows are going to be the top of that line. So that means this is my eye socket. So anywhere inside of here, if I draw eyeballs, they magically look a little bit better. Ta-da! So that is roughly the mouth centered in the third portion. Yes, it sure is. So again, 1, 2, 3. Normally, that's a very good system to do. And it works with every single perspective, obviously, because you're just dividing everything in three. So if you just do the simple shapes, you can come up with a whole face structure really, really simply. So if you guys plan to stay for our lesson today, and I hope that you guys do, I want you guys to please help me by clicking that little like button. My puppy will do his best to make sure to disconnect my phone. Oh, you like staying right here underneath the desk? Yeah? Well, if you keep on pulling the cables, you're going to eat the cable. Oh, yeah, he's a good puppy. Mustache is the bestest of puppies. The bestest. I will have my puppy fight your puppy to see who's the best puppy, and my puppy will win because he has a big mustache. So yeah, just keeping that in mind helps out a lot. Hot Rod, your next guest should be Ed Vilv on IG. Ooh, I don't know who that is, but if you send him a message and you see if he's interested, I'll be more than happy to talk to him. Tomorrow we're supposed to have someone from Spain. We're supposed to have a really cool chick from Spain joining us tomorrow. I have to make sure that I find the times that we're gonna be going on. But she was supposed to be going on last week too, but my schedule just got messed up, so I didn't get a chance to confirm with her. But she is super dope, and she is another artist, and then she likes talking about animation and stuff like that. So I figured we could bring someone like that on and see their point of view on the industry and how they can foresee it coming into fruition later on for some of us, if that is what you're looking to do. I think I have a little bit of space for doing faces because I just got back from a coffee shop. Woohoo, cool. Doing sketching. Wait, he only does Spanish. Yo puedo hablar en español, puedo hablar en inglés. Parlez-vous français? No hablo. No French. No French. I wish. But I speak fluent Spanish and English, and I am known to give lessons in both languages really easily. It just happens that tomorrow we're going to be doing it in Spanish. So if you guys are interested in learning in Spanish, I will be talking in Spanish tomorrow throughout my conversation with a person from Spain. So you guys are more than welcome to come join us and enjoy a lesson in your language. Sí, vamos a dar una clase en español. Vamos a ver cómo va. All right. So, eye placement. This is my method of placing faces, and you guys are more than welcome to copy it. This would not be in any way, shape, or form taking from anyone. I'm giving you guys this information. So check this out. The first thing you do is you draw any shape you want for your head, right? Any shape you want. Then you're going to split it in half to find the midline. In circular objects, I like to draw a circle inside and only copy the front line. I tend to do that on most shapes anyways, just to get that little subtle roundness that goes at the edges. So once I have the midline, I'm going to draw a triangle in that midline that's going to tell me where my nose is going to be. That triangle, if I duplicate that triangle up here, that gives me my thirds. The top of this will be my eyebrows. If we connect it around, it gives us our cheekbones. If we go down, it gives us our muzzle, which is our mouth space. And if we connect the edges of our cheekbones with our chin, it gives us the muscles that happen in the front of our face. The jaw structure will come from wherever you decide your ear is, and that's easy to find too, because at the edge of your eyebrow, wherever your edge of your eyebrow is, that is the side of your face. Wherever the edge of your eyebrow is, that's the side of your face. So if you can manage to find that, you split this one in half, and then to the back of that, you have your ear. Once you find your ear, and you find your ear on the other side by drawing through your shape, a straight line down will be a nice, very basic semblance of a neck. A nice straight line down. And then you can connect your jaw by going from the bottom of your ear to your chin. You add shadows, and you have yourself a structure. Whenever you're actually doing it quickly, you're going to do it like this. You're going to just get all your volume, and you're going to progress down the body. You're going to know where your landmarks are because of the little mapping points. And you're not going to have to worry about where your eyes and your nose and your cheekbones and all that stuff go, because it's all mapped out already. Understanding what type of style you want to give it is a different story. Like, you can do this, you can do more cartoony stuff by making the eyes bigger. Right? You can have really, really, really exaggerated shapes, and you can even do things that aren't even necessarily human. A triangle into, I don't know, a little beanbag gives me a little snout. That little snout also, with those little circles, can lead to drawing things like puppies, cats, and things like that really, really easy. So understanding the very basic components of what a human skull is, because that's what we're replicating, right? What we're replicating is essentially a human skull. The middle section, the triangles that lead our guidelines into our eye sockets and stuff like that, that's just replicating the anatomy that we have. That's the nose bridge, that's our mouth space, our cheekbone, our eyeball. Right? What we're doing is we're simplifying all these concepts so that we can actually put stylization on them. But if you understand where they land, you don't have to worry so much about that aspect of things, which is a big component. Normally, learning where things go is one of the hardest parts of drawing in general. So when you understand it a little bit easier, that makes sense. Make sure to hit that little heart button, guys. We are only at 7K. We should be at like 20K. So if you guys want to do me a favor and do that for me so we can get more people into the stream, that'd be great. So how are you guys enjoying your Tuesday? Oh, is it Tuesday? Is it Monday? It's the beginning of the week, right? You started not too long ago, so we're still here. I finally got my scans in from my sketchbooks. So I have the big book of little lessons is gonna be coming really soon. Really, really, really soon. That one's gonna be coming like maybe next week. That one might be coming before the big book of Derpy Animals. Mostly because I have like all the scans already in and I don't have to worry about like, you know, like doing anything else. But the big book of anatomy and big book of little lessons is going to be coming very soon. And I'm really excited for that one. That's a precursor to the how to draw book. Okay, but what if I want to draw something but not have a million lines through it? Well, you do it with pencil. And then you just erase the pencil lines. That's all you do. Like, I should not have be explaining that. These are guidelines, guys. These are guidelines. I'm not telling you a style. I'm not telling you like how to draw your thing like style-wise. I'm giving you guidelines that you can use to apply your style. Okay, if your style is like really big hands, cool. Now you can add really big hands. If your style is really big anime feet, well then just make those feet really large. Your style is just a big collection of the things that you find appealing and combination with the things that you can actually draw. That's your style. Most of the time, people just don't like their own style. So they think that they have to like magically find another one. No, your style is your knowledge. If your knowledge is only capable of doing happy faces, well, guess what? That's the limitation of your style. That's it. How do you know where to start and end a cheekbone? Oh, easy. Well, let's dissect it. So if we have our nose canal, we have our eye socket, and we have our cheekbone going into our mouth and our teeth line. Our temples come from the top of it, and they curve around to the side of the face. Okay? So understanding the temple into the cheekbone is going to be a matter of understanding how to follow a triangle, a simple triangle. Follow the triangle up and dictate where you want your eyebrow to be. Follow this cheekbone down and around depending on the curvature that you want for that section. This can change. If you want an old person, make that cheekbone saggy, and then you have access to a saggy cheekbone, like saggy cheeks. This works as your cheekbone and your cheek muscle, so it has a double purpose. Okay, so if you have this, you have your eye socket, but then I can just make this smaller, and then I have a good cheek for like elderly people or whatever. So that is essentially how you use that knowledge. Swampy, thank you so much. You're a big help. You're welcome, man. Using these guidelines, the cheekbone is going to go here, right? It's here, but your cheekbone is going to connect to the bottom of your face too. So your cheekbone, your muzzle goes down and then your cheekbone goes around, kind of like an infinity sign. Wherever this ends, this is the start of the side of your face. So from here to the side of your face, it's just another circle. If you end up being able to draw this little general shape really quickly, you have a very simplified skull. And you can do that in every direction you want. If you want to draw something from above, the triangle just goes up. And you have access to that from there. Makes drawing those looking up poses really easy. ¿A qué hora es el live mañana? Okay, so I have to be with my brother at 9. So it's going to have to be early. It might be like at 7 a.m. Pacific. It might have to be relatively early for me to be able to do it because I have to make it, she's from, like I said, she's from Spain. So that's like 10 hours ahead of me. That's 10 hours. So I have to make sure that I account for that difference so that she isn't like, you know, like staying up till like 1 in the morning or whatever, because that'd just be a jerk move from my part. This is all you need to do to draw a face. How big do you make the circle? How do you know, okay, how big do you know how to make these circles? It's actually quite simple, quite simple. I'm gonna make a shape. The midline, right, is going to dictate the middle of my face. The triangle is going to dictate how wide my nose is. So if I want a really wide nose, I would make a really wide triangle. That would lead to a wide nose. Simple enough. Thin nose, wide nose. Cool. From there, in a 3/4 view, the distance from here to the edge, that is your first circle. You're going to match this one exactly in size. Exactly in size. This ends up being the edge of your eyebrow. Your eyebrows dictate where your temples start. And the temple will normally match where the cheekbone is. So you go here, cheekbone, side. This gets split in half, and then your ear is going to roughly be in the middle section. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you find that middle section, and your ear just goes there. Bloop. Your eyes are going to fall at the top of that triangle, that initial triangle you draw. If you draw a line right through the top little triangle, boop, 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 that is where the middle of your eye is going to be. That will most likely, unless the person has some sort of different anatomy, that is roughly where your eye is going to be. Your eyelids get applied around the middle of your eye. So if this is your eyeball, your eyelids just go around that eyeball. Your nose becomes a dot, and you connect all 3 points of the triangle to that dot, and then you have yourself a pyramid. A pyramid is a nose in perspective. So now you have a nose, now you have the eyes, now you know where the eye goes. The eye goes right there, and your eyelids get drawn in. Your eyelids or your eyebrows fall within this top shape. So as long as you know where that goes, you can modify them to be angry, happy, floating, right? But understand where they go, because you need that to be able to understand the other measurements. From here, that little initial triangle, you go down all the way to the edge, and you have your chin and your mouth space. Your chin and your jaw connect at the bottom of your ear, and it's just a curvy line. And just like that, you can understand where your eyes go. The triangle gives us the middle of the triangle, and I can dictate exactly where my eyes are in every single shape. Because it's a mathematically available approach. It's not guessing. Once you understand it, and when you know, you don't have to guess anymore. And if you can stop guessing, then you can get creative. What style do you want to give this guy? The top of that triangle is going to give you where your eyes go. Where do you start the hair? This hair is going to be in the upper third. And it's going to be your forehead above your eyebrows. You have a little bit of forehead, and then you're going to have your hairline. Your hairline is going to fall relatively close to the top of your head. Very close to the top of your head. And then your hair grows up from there. So it goes up. If it's really short, it's really short. If it's longer, it starts getting gravity. So it starts going up and then down. If it starts getting really long, it goes up and then falls down. Up and then down. Up and then down. Up and then down. Then it goes around your body like a cone. So you end up in a situation where your hair is like this. It wraps around your head like a little cone, and then you see a little opening for your face. That is the shapes that you should look for. The growth should be up or down from your hairline. Can you show how lay out your female figure proportions have always been a weakness of mine? Well, let's look at one. Let's look at the last one that I did that I enjoyed. So we have this little girl, right? If you look at her proportions, you're essentially going to see this. Boom, boom. So I draw beanbags a lot when it comes down to drawing characters. A beanbag gives me two volumes, one for a rib cage and one for my legs and my hip bones. If I learn to play along with this, and I just learn how the flow of my legs go, I can draw really simple characters, right? If I can do this, this is not very far away from that. Understanding how my legs connect to my body, it's just a matter of choosing the two endpoints and then drawing a circle. Endpoint, endpoint, circle. Now I have that connecting point. Now if I want this leg bent, like that, I just go, whoop. I connect it back to the same hole, and I just mark a spot that I can move it. Cool. Same thing with my arms. Once I find the connecting point, I can move them all I want. And my face is probably going to be the hardest part, but we've explained in like several details how to draw things from cylinders and faces and stuff like that. So if you draw your head like a circle, it's very difficult. But if you draw it like a cylinder, it becomes really easy because all you got to do is find your ear. You already have a line that goes one way to the other, so choose any of these for any perspective. I want a cool perspective. I want it like this one. Cool. My neck is going to taper down. And I have myself a face in like a second with my neck and with my ears and with depth and everything. Like I don't have to guess where anything goes. I don't have to do this and then this and then this and then try to figure out the midline and then that's so dumb. Just do this. Draw a cylinder, draw some circles inside, draw a chin and some ears, and then just draw around it. It's so much easier. That's great. Why does it feel difficult, yet you make it look so easy? Probably because I've been doing it a long time. You know, so I get to, and I'm pretty much the only person that draws like this. So I get to be the person to show off. I'm pretty sure that like Loomis and all those guys like to be able to demonstrate their pretty concepts in like extensive detail and make it look really simple. But the thing is, this is simple. Seeing it like this is simple. It's very, very simple, and it gives you a neck and a jaw immediately. Ta-da! So, I don't know. You guys can feel free to do it, but this is the kind of faces you get with that. This is the kind of faces you get with this. Let's see. These as well. Just a bunch of different examples. Ooh, wait, hold on. I have entire sketchbooks here that I did because I just got them back. So you guys can see a bunch of examples of like old work. Let's see. So I can browse through them real fast. This one's the posing one. So a lot of the ones from here are going to be going into the how to draw book. Even though now I know more posing than I did back in the beginning. So now it's like different. Swipe left, okay. Then we have this one. This one's also posing. So it took about like four full sketchbooks to be able to say that I mastered posing. And I'm that cocky. Yes, I am that cocky. I'm perfectly comfortable saying that I have mastered posing. Like I can pose things in any way, shape, or form I want now. And it's absolutely incredibly fun. Sorry, I have been missed it. You said, but when does your book come out? I'm trying to release it in April. I'm going to try to release it in April. The How to Draw book is going to be probably March. Mostly because it just requires a lot of drawing on my part, and I haven't sat down to do a lot of those assets. Where'd I put my pen? Where'd my pen go? I swear to God, I don't move like an inch, and everything disappears. Hold on. Another pen. There you go. Peace at the end of a long day. If you need help with producing the book, I can help with that. No, I like doing it. I like doing my own stuff. Not that I don't appreciate the help, but I don't trust people. And unfortunately, I don't trust people with any of my important things. I have learned over the years to be incredibly cautious when it comes down to anything that I release to anyone else, because I've gotten screwed horribly many times. So even though I am genuinely always here just trying to like make everybody else's life better, there's been a lot of instances where people take advantage of that. And they take advantage of the fact that I am overworked and over like saturated and over like, stressed. And they promise all these like things of help. And then at the end of the day, they end up taking advantage. So I have very, 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 very little tolerance for what other people can do for me. And I don't really take on any projects that I can't take on myself because of that. It makes it so much harder to scale. I haven't been able to like really scale up as a business because of that. I think I'm at most of the max that I'm probably going to be able to do on my own. But at the same time, it's a terrifying like thing for me to even consider even remotely giving anyone access or just my time in general. Like I'm just tired of giving people my time just to be disappointed. How do you know how to draw animal legs? Animal legs are not very different than human legs. Okay, so if a human leg connects at a body at like a 45-degree angle, something like that, 35, 45-degree angles, it connects, and then the bone comes out, and then in like this, and then you have a connecting point in the kneecap, and then you have your foot. So this is essentially the whole concept of a human leg. Okay? This can be simplified very easily by drawing a circle, drawing circles at the edges, and then drawing two more little circles going down. If you do that, or you go that circle, outside line, inside volume, cool. Now you have access to legs. So now that you understand kind of what human legs look like, animal legs are not very different. There's going to be the concept of the animal leg, like a dog leg or something like that, that looks something like this, right? That might look intimidating to a lot of people because, oh no, look at it. It has different parts that we do. Why have no? This is essentially just a person getting on their knees and being on their tippy toes. That's all that is. The thing is, this flat part of your foot is this very long part of the foot on an animal. Your calf, that normally is pointing down, is pointing up. And then your thigh is working very similar in the way of just going down like that. So the difference is that an animal has different bendiness and different proportions than a human does. But it's a very similar concept if you think about it that way. So they have extra long, flat part of the foot. It's not the toes. The toes in themselves are kind of relatively the same. It's just the bottom part of the foot, like that's really, really long. That's normally what that body feature part is that throws people off. Same thing happens with hooves. Right? The same thing happens with hooves. This part of the foot of a horse, right? Something like that. This part is the bottom of your foot, and then this is your toe. That's just how it works. It's weird. One day life will slow down and you will get to enjoy. Claiming that for us. You know, I enjoy my life. I really do enjoy my life. Like, after I quit my editorial job, well, I didn't quit. I actually got let go. That's actually an interesting thing. I didn't quit. They let us go. They let the entire art department go. So that was the best job that I had ever had. And I got to work on kids' books and stuff like that, but they let us go because of something. Even though we were supposedly profitable, horribly profitable, they just let us go, and I think they got like other designers from fucking India or something like that to like change us. Which, you know, whatever. It's just the way the direction the company wanted to go. But after that, I never really wanted to be employed by anybody again. I honestly was like, you know, I'm tired of dedicating my livelihood, my time, my efforts, my creative energy to a company that's just willing to let me go like that. It's like, never again. I'm never doing that again. So I was like, you know, what would happen if I apply that to myself? What if I spent 8 hours a day drawing with the purpose of building something, aka kind of like the business did? I did that for a week. I generated 4 books, and those are the books that you guys have bought for me. That's what's been generating my income, and it's been great. I'm not making nearly as much money, of course. I was making close to like $85,000 a year when it came down to the book editing job. Making considerably less now, but I get to wake up at any time I want. I get to work on any project that I feel like. I get to travel. I get to go places. I get to explore life. I get to enjoy living. You know what I don't miss? I don't make as much money as I did. Boo-hoo. But you know what I don't miss? I don't miss someone telling me to fucking do something. I don't miss someone being like, hey, dude, you were 5 minutes late. You're going to get written up. I don't miss that. I don't miss that at all. Who's Yoshimoto and what are you doing? Dude, you keep spamming and I'm just going to block you. You know how annoying it is to do that? You know how annoying it is? Draw something. Draw this, 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 draw this. That's what you sound like. Jesus Christ, dude. I have made a kid's book before. I have made a couple. I actually edited over 150 of them that had some of my artwork in them because I had to make them profitable. So a lot of the times when the companies would come to us with artwork, their books would be okay, but their artwork would be kind of like, eh. So what I would do is I would have to go in and make the book manageable, profitable. And that would sometimes involve pretty much changing almost all the artwork inside. So I had to match styles. I had to match a shit ton of things, right? So it taught me a lot, and it was really like fun. It was really, really fun having to work on all these things. So like I said, that was my favorite job. That's the best job I've ever had. But even the best job just let me go, even though I was amazing at it. It was amazing. That was like literally what I was called for if I was to keep on doing production. But again, even top level skills get overseen for the cost that it takes to be able to actually maintain somebody like that. So you get replaced. And that literally threw me for a loop because I was like, I thought I was doing a fantastic job here. What the fuck? Like, I'm not going to lie. It made me cry. Like, I was like, I can't believe that no matter what I do, it's like they always do that. And every job and I've had at the production place has had the same thing happen. So it's like, I'm just tired of working for other people. And eventually, if you guys work for a company, odds are things will be very similar. So be careful, be very mindful of how much you're investing in another company and not investing in yourself. Because you need to invest in yourself just as much as you do in these companies that promise you the world and, oh, you're going to stay here till retirement? Probably not. You probably won't. Just saying. Like, not in this day and age. I don't know many people that have stayed at a company for more than like 2 or 3 years anymore. You know, it's just not, they don't look out for you. Like before, they used to give you pensions and all that stuff. You know, like if you stayed with a company, you were like kind of like looking at being helped in the years where you weren't working for them. But you don't even get that anymore. Good luck getting a 401k matching like contributions even. If I go to the bookstore, how would I find your books? You're not going to find them in the bookstores. My books are all found through my links in my bio. So I sell my books. I self-publish and I do them through Amazon. So, you know, if you guys want to get printed ones, you can get them through Amazon. If you guys want the ebooks, which a lot of people like because they can just take them into Procreate or Photoshop, like open up the PDFs and then use the sketches for themselves. Like a lot of people like doing that. And that's what they're there for, you know, so go for it. Can you recommend practice routine? 15 minutes a day. 15 minutes of dedicated drawing every day will get you places really quickly. 15 minutes of you actually wanting to learn something new every day will carry you very far. 15 minutes is all you really need to be able to get something in your brain. If you want a more significant lesson, you can always go on Pinterest and name something at the top of your sketchbook and then be like, okay, today we're learning a little bit more about legs, a little bit more about eyes, a little bit more about whatever you decide that you want to learn. And then you learn one thing about that in 15 minutes. One thing that you can see, okay, I know this now. It could be the most minuscule thing. Doesn't matter what it is. But you learn one more thing with those 15 minutes. And every 15 minutes you have to draw, you're going to be a little bit better. Just a little bit better. Maybe not too much, but you're going to be a little bit better. You're going to understand something a little bit more. Drawing for drawing's sake is the worst thing you can do because you're just cementing bad habits in there. So if I draw 8 hours a day, right, but I'm constantly making the same mistakes, if I'm not paying attention to the things that have to change, the things that I need to fix, I can draw 20, 18, 30 hours a day if there was 30 hours a day. And that would just be cementing a bad habit if I'm not actively looking at the things that I need to improve. So drawing for drawing's sake means nothing if you're not doing it in an analytical way. You might actually be hurting you more than helping you. Proco is really good. I learned a lot from Proco. Do you draw graffiti? Yeah, I draw graffiti once in a while. I dabble. I used to like it a lot when I was younger. Yeah, I was just never really good at it. Like, I was never good at perspective. I am good at it now, but like before, even drawing like a simple letter with like a little bit of depth was like a fucking pain because I was like, oh my God, how do you do that? So I couldn't do any of the simple effects that people do on their graffitis. So I was like, I was always like, I'm incompetent in this. I can't do this. But once you learn a tiny bit of knowledge about anatomy, perspective, and everything, all that stuff, it just becomes relatively easy. Honestly, it just becomes like something else to do. Like I said, knowledge is the key entry to a lot of things. Knowledge is what's going to give you entryway to realism, cartooning, and everything else in between that you guys really want to do. Most of it is just variations of anatomy and perspective. So you just have to get good at those two, and magically things get easier. How old am I? I am 40. Can you make simple shapes look interesting? Yeah. Let's make he's gonna be a murderer. And you are next. And let's give him a top hat and a monocle. Storytelling is at the core of every single cartoonist, illustrator, animator, and everything in between. Because what we do is much more storytelling than it is anything else. Everything that is drawn is meant to tell a story. Animation, books, graphic design is to tell the story of your company within a single image, right? So it's a matter of knowing how to draw something so much that you can now give it personality because you're not thinking about everything else that's involved in the whole idea of drawing. Once you don't have to think about like, ooh, I don't have to think about where the arms go. I don't have to think about where the eyebrows go. Then I get to be creative with it. And as you learn more skills and more anatomy, more muscles, more overlapping lines, you'll be able to take all that knowledge and apply it in a creative way to be able to get the results that you want from the other things that you draw. And that is how you progress into being able to use simple shapes, simple concepts, and then apply them to more creative shit. But it doesn't just happen overnight, and it doesn't just happen because you feel like it. You have to study, you have to actually analyze, you have to be careful and not refine bad habits over and over and over. No one said art was easy. And I'm going to say that over and over and over. No one. Art is easy to get into. Art is incredibly hard to master. Like, one of the hardest things to master, because there's no perfectionism, right? That there's no level of perfection in art. So it's all subjective. And since it's all subjective, we have to make sure that it's appealing to someone. And if that person is us, then we win. Because your art being appealing to you is the only thing that matters. You caring about people liking your shit, that's what's keeping you from other people liking your shit. You constantly, it's like, oh Oh my God, I don't have this. I don't know. I'm not ready yet. Doubt has killed more careers in the art world than any failure has. Just put that in perspective for yourselves. Doubt will have killed more dreams than any failure will. Do I ever put daily practice? Daily practice is going to come at least with 15 minutes of my time. 15 minutes of my time. If I can find 15 minutes of time every day, I'm going to be better by 15 minutes every day. 15 minutes add up after a while. "15 minutes every day of dedicated learning time, not like bullshit time. No, not just like drawing time. No, it's dedicated drawing time." Why is the... Wait, hold on. No, it's not. There you go. It's just me moving the book. That goes for anything. I mean, maybe, but I know it works for drawing. I don't know what it's like for sports or anything like that, but at least for drawing, I know it works really good. And it's a habit that's very easy to form, and it's very fun to form because you're constantly just wanting to get better. But you have to want to. What is best way to start learning anatomy that helps on cartooning? Go to my sushis. Go to a video on YouTube, and I want you to find a video called the sushis. That's going to be a video of, in my channel, it's going to look with a character kind of like this in the front. Okay? You're going to see something similar to this as the main thing on the pose. These are sushis. Sushis teach you how your ligaments come out of your body. Sushis give you a very easy way to draw your legs going in every direction possible. It gives you the connecting point at 35 degrees or 45 degrees. And it's as easy as dividing a circle in 4 and then choosing the bottom 2 circles, or the bottom 2 sections to draw 2 circles in. Draw a dot for each one of the legs and connect them. If you want a different leg place, change the place of the dot. Okay, you want it bent, bend the connecting points before the dot hits. Ta-da! The sushis are very important because they're very, it's very fluid line work, like very fluid way of thinking that doesn't encumber you with your anatomy. It just helps you with gesturing things really, really quickly. You can do the same thing with your arms. You just need to learn where the arm connection happens. So that is why the sushis are so important. But anyways, I'm going to go, guys. I'm going to go because I don't know what time it is, and I have to start making my way up to the States at some point. But I want to play with my puppy for a little bit before I have to go. So I'm going to let you guys go. I hope that you guys learned a little bit. I hope that you guys learned a lot. I hope that you guys have a better understanding of where your facial features go now because of our lesson today. Thank you so much to the 37.5 thousand people that clicked that little button. You guys are the absolute best. If you guys want to join me tomorrow for another lesson, I'm going to try to set the time and the schedule for our guest coming in from Spain. So she's a lovely person, by the way. She seems like a really lovely individual. So I'm going to really look forward to having her on board and to give her a little bit more notoriety because, you know, kind of like with Agnes, I want to make sure that people see my friends. The people that support me are the people that I'm showing you guys. So those are my friends. Those are the people that support me and have followed my journey for a while. And I want to pay them back by giving them access to a little bit of that audience. So you guys have a lovely day. Take care. Enjoy your Mondays. Kick ass. Start that project. I'm looking at you. You right there. No, not you. You. You need to start that project right now. Like today. I don't care if it's late. At least start it. Okay? I got you. I'm going to check in on you. Take care, everybody. You guys are awesome.